Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is the Wolf and I'm casting a game between AiurNeedsMe, his opponent. I gave up on this name. Sair. Sair. It reminds me of some game where they go, Say? What is that, like Soul Calibur 2? I'm pretty out of it. It's like, that game is really old, Ice Fang. You suck. And I'm like, yeah, I do. But at least I don't swallow. Ooh. ZVP on Sakura's Plateau. You know what I was thinking when I first started this replay? I thought they really changed this map a lot because I haven't seen it this version yet. I'm still used to the rocks here, and I thought, oh good, they made another clone of another map. It's just like the same as all the other maps. It's a little different in some places. That's good. Probably can't spawn close to each other because that means the map's very well made. It's okay. I don't mind this map, but I liked it the way it was more. And I got this replay, and the player said he felt like he did really well, and the other player, the one, I'm not going to name him off because the player that sent it probably won, so I try my best not to spoil it away for you guys. But one player who says he did really well, I agree he does really well, and the other player who didn't say anything because he didn't send it, he said nothing. But he didn't really play that well. He made me angry, so you guys will notice as this game continues I'll be ripping out the hair that I'm losing from all my stress and problems. I don't really have stress and problems. I just don't really do. I don't have anything. I'm pretty boring. But I do have StarCraft, and I'm going to be, in related news, I'm going to be playing against Kanga on the ladder, sort of like a ladder against each other thing. And so today I got to start playing. He's only up a game. He only played one game yesterday to start off, so I think I'll play about 9,001 today. And I've made a pact to not use Colossus and to not... What the hell is this? I made a pact to not use Colossus and to not use force fields, probably sentries. There's not much of a reason to get more than like 2 or 3 sentries without force fields anyway, unless I go hallucination. I think this is kind of dumb looking. I mean, like, what's up with their fascination about having... smoke or etc. around Zelnaga towers? Like, this just looks dumb. How much like, we're the Zelnaga race and we're just gonna go ahead and put down all these trees in a perfect square. Oh wait, we don't want that empty space over there, we're just gonna put more trees over there. Good idea. Okay, so we got a stealing gas here. Who cares? Actually, I'm gonna be working on my new insane build that will take a lot of practice and work, where I don't make sentries and I don't make Colossus. Stealing a gas is actually kind of good for me because I go 1 gas into 3 more gas, and then I get like blink, charge, +1/+1 all at the same time. And I only have stalkers and zealots, and then I tech towards I'm thinking immortals and observers because it's supposed to be about army positioning. So I mean, observers are like map packs. I do agree that they're very powerful, but come on, I mean, what else do we have going for us? Like, I like when people whine about Protoss being overpowered, and it just makes me weep and cry and be sad. So we have a fast expand going down for Air, really quick actually, 24, 25, just barely. I like how the drone's gonna go in there like gonna beat you. And it's a 1 gate expand. I kind of like that myself. It's something that I've seen Terran players do against Zerg, and I like to do that myself. I usually do 1 to 3 gate expand in the new magic build I'm trying. And I'll show you a replay of it if I ever get one. That doesn't look really bad. I expect to go like 0 and 8,000 before I start getting perfect win streaks. So I think by the end of today I'll have Tacidar's portrait, even though right now I'm only on Zealot. I only need another, 8,990 wins or so. Probably like 8,987 or so. 85, that's it. So we have another gateway. Just 2 gates for poor Air. He's going to get destroyed by Zerglings. Not really. And pretty standard for both players. I have to say Air's kind of in the lead. His expand isn't up right now, but it's definitely not in danger of going down. And of course, Air can see what's going on with his Zealot hanging out right here, so not bad. Unfortunately, these Zerglings are going to go have sex with the Zealot, unless Air, like, micros the Zealot. I hate to say this, but oh my god, he's going to micro... Ooh, this is kind of cool. That was like a little bit of a love dance, like, ooh, and flex. I guess they didn't really do that, but I can kind of see that they do. Another gateway, so we got 3 gates down for Air. Probably just going to 4 gate because that's what all Protoss do. That's what I read. And they're also really overpowered, but they're also really underpowered. So go Protoss tech tree. Good job sniping off some Zerglings. I know they're only 25 minerals, but at this point in the game, you don't want to have your... I mean, every Zergling counts at this point in the game. There's only 3 units going on here. So Air might not be doing some kind of aggression, but he is trying to, like, secure the center, kind of getting some stomping grounds for future expansions, I'm sure. Interesting Overlord placement. He has a queen right here. I can't say I agree with making a queen. He probably should just not make queens. I was kind of secretly hoping that when I said I wasn't going to make sentries or Colossus, that Kangas said he wouldn't make roaches, because I hate roaches. They're dumb. They beat stalkers, and stalkers cost more. Okay, so this... with some micro here, like really, really good micro, he can take down this a bit, but he actually did a form of, what was it called? Harassment, I suppose. The Zerg player went for way too many Zerglings. I mean, he's definitely warding this back, but oh my god, he's about to get metabolic boost. This could be really bad for Air. But he made these into Zerglings and not drones, which is good for Air. And so a couple force fields going down. Nice timing there because the Zerg player's not paying any attention. He just ran them back. And so because of that, he was able to take some free shots. If he had actually been able to, you know, run back and run forward, that would have really been bad for Air in this position here. And so the overpowered force fields, and then there's more Zerglings. After killing like all of them, there's another whole army of Zerglings. A third expand going down for Zerg player, so he's macro king. And the Zerglings, I mean, he doesn't have any more force fields. Soon he'll have 2 more. Once he has those 2, he'll actually be in a pretty good position against them, being able to really limit his surface area. Because as I told you, circles have the greatest volume per surface area, and that's why you make circles, because circles are cool. Circles are also one-sided figures, or infinite-sided figures. Ha. Mind blown. Hallucination for Mr. Air. And this is another good example of, like, harassment against Zergs. Is when they make this many, whatever they're called, Zerglings, and he makes an evolution chamber and 4 spine crawlers, and that's really good harassment. You use the larva, which is actually kind of like a resource for Zerg. And then you can see at this point, not to say that he's like a specifically bad Zerg player, but getting this extra gas is not really useful for him. He actually should be taking his drones off the gas, all of the gases, and trying to get some more saturation on his mineral lines. But looks like Air's going to do some aggression here. I think he's going to wait till Hallucination finishes, which is really powerful. You can really freak the Zerg out. Unfortunately for Protoss, a lot of our tech is kind of... it's like one thing helps fight against other things. I'll tell you about it in a second. You're like, this is stupid. Okay, just run away, whatever. I take a break for you, you just run away. If we get hallucination, then you need detection to deal with that. And then if you have detection, you can stop Dark Templar. And like, you know, if you have missile turrets hanging around, you can kill Colossus and Phoenix and Void Rays and Carriers. And so I don't know why Terran players don't mass Marauders with, what are they called, missile turret support. And I think it's kind of funny that Air actually puts his zealots in front because that's actually really necessary. But, you know, Protoss just A-clicks and uses force fields because that's what we do. We're pretty overpowered. And that's my least favorite thing about these stupid Phoenix. You know, it's not really a nerf enough to say I don't want it. But the attacking and moving makes it really obvious that you have hallucination out. I wish they couldn't attack and move, where you could tell them to just move around so they wouldn't shoot the damn overlords and let them know, oh, I'm just a stupid hallucination. Everything I do is a lie. Make it overseer. Okay, so we got a little bit of a Zergling run by here. They might just ignore it. Protoss being overpowered, probably just warp in a sentry and be like, force field to the victory. And this is really bad. Air needs to just back out. And, I mean, you don't want to sit back and let your Zerg macro, but he definitely cannot break through this. This is not worth it. And so he actually, his most ideal thing, too bad losing that sentry there, would be to break this third base, and he actually sees it, so that's good. If he goes down there and ends it and expands on his own, he definitely can, and then he'll be way ahead of Zerg player. Warping in 5 more zealots, I mean, that's kind of like a force field there. Just costs a lot more, but whatever, it's cool. You know, you couldn't use 1 force field here anyway, so I'm just kidding. And here he goes for the third base. This is really important. If he's able to take this out, it's really big. I wouldn't really say a pickup. It's really good for him, though. He's going to be in the lead for this part of the game. And there it goes. So poor Sair is like, no, you've killed my base. That's how he talks. No, you have killed my base, and now you will die. And so I forgot to point out, he actually already has +1 weapons. This is kind of a part of the build I've been doing as well. Not to say that Air's doing what I'm doing. I'm just pointing out stupid things that you guys don't care about. So listen up. I go for double forge and like +1/+1, which I actually was thinking about that before they started doing double forges as like a legitimate thing. So right now, macro play, Zerg players, I mean, he still has the problem where he has too much drones on gas. He doesn't need the gas right now. He actually needs to get on minerals and just start mining a lot of minerals and then move them back to gas. I do that all the time as Protoss. I mean, especially the build I'm working on, I had way too much gas and I needed an expansion. So I'm like, okay, no more gas. Let's get some more minerals. And then I'm doing this weird hand gesture. So we have burrow and I think that's not speed. I can't remember. That is speed. Okay, yeah. Sax is the carrying thing. So now this makes me cry. Protoss tears. Force fields going down. Really good force fields. Like, that was definitely good. And they're definitely overpowered. I mean, it's not like those 4 force fields were fair at all. They, you know, didn't cost 400 gas or whatever. They're overpowered. And it's not like these really cheap roaches would have just destroyed this Protoss force without the force fields. What the fuck? I really wish we get rid of Sentry's force fields because they make me sick and want to just puke all the time. You know, I'm bulimic like that. So we have the engagement here. Air making a really big mistake in not engaging all at once. But he is kind of embracing his shields. His, you know, shields on his units. He's trying to hit and fall back and hit and fall back. So hopefully gets him a couple more shots of defense in there. And Zealots are in the front. They're taking their damage. They don't really do that well against roaches. They just kind of receive a lot of semen from the roaches. And so all the Zealots are kind of dead. Killed like, I don't know, 7 roaches, if that. Good job. I mean, if it wasn't for this pylon, this would already be dead. I mean, he warped in 5 Zealots, and he just warped in 5 Stalkers. There's nothing here without that. And, you know, losing these couple extra shots here, not good. Trying to take out these sentries. Don't micro your entire force. Try to move the sentries back, because I'm not saying all Zerg players do this, but this particular Zerg player is like, duh. And he's not actually focusing on the units. He's just trying to kill each sentry. So if you move him back, you should be able to get some free shots in there, and you really need to try to do that. I do like separating the forces here, although he's going to probably just beat everything up because he's got roaches and they're really cost effective. We're Protoss, the race of cost-effective units. And by cost-effective, I mean Stalkers are shit. But you'll need them. And then he goes for Immortals, which is very wise, and 2 Robos, so he must be reading something that I wrote. I'm so happy for you, Air. Yeah, and so we have 2 Immortals coming out, and just still gateways going on. The plus weapons are really nice for the gateway units. Like I've always said, gateway units receive the biggest buff from them, and so that's another good reason why you want to go robotics tech over, you know, Stargate tech, is because these units receive the bonuses that you want. So we have Observer and a Warp Prism coming out to check for tech, and if you look at his tech, Mutalisk in the future looks like a lot of roaches. And what I'd actually do at this time would be to set down a Twilight Council and an expansion. And he actually just got the expansion, so he might actually want to expand again. And not like he's doing poorly on his macro, but there's a few things he could do. He could either expand again, or he could use a Chrono Boost and warp in another fresh batch, because he's not chronoing well at all. And what did I say I was going to get? Oh, no, I forgot. Oh, well, you heard me say it once. Oh, yeah, I was going to get the Twilight Council so I get +2 weapons, because that's really big. I mean, the +1/+1, you saw how this ball of units didn't get completely obliterated by just roaches. By just roaches. And then we have a Warp Prism going on, so that's kind of groovy. I really like Warp Prisms. They're dumb units, and you should never get them, but they're cool. So, and I'm totally a Timmy player, if you know what that means. I'm like a Timmy Spike. And most of you are like, no. And I'm sure like one of you is like, yes, I understand this. In Magic the Gathering, there's words to describe players, and I'm old school, so I only know 3 of them. You have Timmy, Spikes, and Johnnies. And Timmy's like really big creatures and turning their creature sideways to win, and Spikes like to win. So I like to win, but I like doing it with style, I guess is how I like to say. I'm not going to win as much as like a person who does it with, you know, mass roaches. And so, good thing here. Warp Prism doing some scouting. Like I've always said, Warp Prisms actually make pretty good observers in certain situations. And this Warp Prism's going to see, oh my god, there's a Spire here! But it doesn't really matter. I mean, he's already going Stalkers to take care of the roaches. Not going to miss this. I didn't miss this. Okay, so we have 2 Immortals, a lot of Stalkers, that's what they are, a lot of force fields, and we have Mass Roach down here, and I hate this. There's nothing he can do. He can't use hallucination. He's got observers. His spine crawler's position. He actually really needs to back up. I'm gonna use the force to tell him to back up. Back up. Can you feel my hand gestures? They're like swimming to the. I'm swimming to the left, so my arms are going to the right. Move back up, because you're getting destroyed. Don't put the sentries in front. They're not zealots. Oh my God, you're gonna die. There you go. So he finally listened to my suggestion. Unfortunately, there's gonna be a lot of death here. Wow, I'm very sad about that. Why is Protoss the easy race again? I know that they're on even bases now. The Zerg player probably had a macro advantage because he's had this base for longer. He's got his 4th base going on, even though it's just finished. But I mean, he just has mass roaches. He had zealot sentries, observer to catch burrow, and he had immortals and the last unit I forgot to name off. Who cares? He just gets boned by tons of roaches. They do have +2/+1 kind of going for him, and unfortunately Air only has +1/+1/+1, so he actually really needs a Twilight Council. In his position, he's actually macroing really well. I can't fault him for that, but he could get, like I said, put down the Twilight, get Blink, because I actually remember a PvP, which wasn't 4-gate, where Pyrrhic, which is dead now, I miss you Pyrrhic, I wish you'd come back to us, he kind of went into Colossus, and I just went Zerg mode, and I had like 10, whatever they're called, warp gates, and I had like an extra base, and I just kept making Zealots and Stalkers, and he kept beating me until I got Charge and Blink. So we do have a Twilight Council going down for the upgrades, probably for Blink as well. I'd say upgrades are more important here. I mean, they're just mass roaches. It's not like they're really micro-able around. Like, dude, I'm going to blink to one side and blink to the other side, and then I'm going to get destroyed. Oh my God, achievements have been removed. Well, achievement unlocked. Cast a game. I'm like, yes, I'm so awesome. Okay, we're going to go ahead and speed up the game because my computer lags. It's like the artificial way to make the game go normal speed. I'm so awesome like that. Mass Stalker with Immortals. This should be able to beat roaches on similar cost. I think they're actually pretty close. If we look at the army size. Okay, so blue is really ahead of red. This is going to make you cry. Oh, you don't have detection, do you? Goodbye, probes. I'm crying still. I hope you know that. Okay, so... come on. Now he's got detection. He's got 4 immortals here. He's got a larger army size. Now it's going down really fast. This is just like immortals versus stemmed marauders. They're not cost effective. That's really the sad thing. But immortals aren't cost effective. And I mean, this did manage to win overall. It should have won. No, it should have won by a lot more. He had like 1 1/3 times as much minerals and about as much gas. So yeah, awesome. And then Zerg player's got like another army here. So I think Protoss is in trouble. Poor Air. We'll go back to the D because I like the D. I mean, he lost his expansion. He's got this for an army. He's kind of dead right now. And yeah, let's see. I think because we saw that War Prison do a drop. I think it lived. I want to make sure I don't miss it. There. No. What the hell's dying? Oh wait. There. Yeah. So did a drop with some zealots. Didn't look like it did too much damage. Excuse me. I think he might have done some. You know, I'm going to point out, though, that this game feels like it's not lagging at all. I think it's awesome when I do that. I'm so cool. I am so awesome. So Zerg players put down a couple Spore Crawlers, Spine Crawlers. Very wise. It's actually pretty good for, as I've learned, Protoss to kind of tech towards Dark Templar and use them to harass so many Zerg bases, as I saw during my cast before the last one. With Mumumugi, my favorite Protoss player. If you switch to Zerg, I will cut myself. Not really. Same problem is the Zerg player at this time. I mean, both players are macroing actually pretty well. But Zerg has too many drones on gas. Like, if you see this number go up, you don't have to focus on spinning it. You can also focus on getting less of it. So, I mean, at this time he's got too many probes anyway. I hope he's not making very many more. But I guess there's not really much to that. I mean, he could put some on here, but it wouldn't really do anything. And so if we look at the units tab, 2 immortals, 14 stalkers. Let's see, we got some stuff. Oh, cool. That's not gonna work at all. Stalker's like, let's go, guys. Can you feel my stalker legs? I'm like moving my arms back and forth like stalker legs. And then he's like, no, I'm gonna run away back to the shadows. So we have massed roaches. Hasn't used this, and I'll tell you why. He's going to make 1 unit with it. Can you guess what unit that is? Oh wait, you can't even see that. But you can see the picture. Corruptors! I like how the Overlord's like, what's going on, guys? I'm gonna poop some creep and just be like, this is the best place ever to poop. No! I'm gonna run away! No! And then he dies. That's exactly what his voice was like. Back to the D tab. So +2 weapons, very nice. I do like that about playing against Zerg, is that they can't access +3 weapons as well as we can. Because, you know, once you put down a Twilight Council, you got +3 weapons available to you, or +3 upgrades. Zerg player have to get to Hive to do that. So, can't do that yet. Probably going to make an Infestor Pit to make Infestors. No. No. Oh, there's the Dark Shrine. You know, I mean, there might be some War Prism action going on. I wouldn't even call that action. It's been sitting there for like, how long? Doing damage to that? Time to run, Mr. Stalker. He's like, shit, I'm so boned. And War Prism's like, whatever. They don't even. He doesn't even have anti-air. But you know what? Void Rays wouldn't help that much here. I mean, they would help more than the Immortals would, but they don't have the plus weapon upgrades. And these Roaches are +1, +2. I don't know why he hasn't got the extra +1. He really could benefit from that. Oh, he's actually switched from Masked Roach to Corruptor Roach. Oh my god. That's so awesome. I just came everywhere, all over the keyboard. I'm like, And so we have Blink, which will help a bit. I mean, since we're Protoss, we can't go Mass Roach. We have to make Stalker, Sentry, Zealot, the other unit I forgot to name. Stalker, Sentry, Zealot, Immortal. Yeah, so awesome. That is so cool. I'm so happy for us. We are the best. I'm crying, and my hair is gone. I have lost all my hair now. And there was an infestation pit, probably for making more roaches. It's like the Fun Day Monday. Shit, he got Void Rays. I better make more roaches. And then proceed to win the game. Not just win, but roll over the poor Protoss player. So Zerg's way ahead right now in terms of army supply. What's going to help out Aiur here? Not a lot. This is kind of groovy. You can warp on the low ground. That's actually really awesome. Unfortunately, there's a lot of rocks in the way, but Dark Templar are like, lol, rocks, you will die. I think I should make a video of me doing this too. I could be at the bottom right here. You can just see my weird hand gestures. Okay, so Masked Roach versus army composition. Go. Go, 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 go. I remember back in Brood War days, my friends Raven and Project Fox, we would click G3 for go, 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 because it was faster than typing in go, go, go. And then R4 was ready because they're right next to each other. And then what was the last one? Like wait, T5 or something. Just, it was faster that way. Ooh. Dark Templar, gonna kill everybody. Probably not, because there's a Spore Crawler here, but I guess there's only one queen, so kill that bitch. Yeah, just be. She's like, no, go away. Okay, and then they're like, whatever, dude, it's cool. We'll just kill this base because we have insane damage, but we have no health. And the Roach is like, shit, get back to base. And then the Overseer's like, oh man, they're not gonna get away. Best thing you can do here is separate your Dark Templar and hope for the best. But then again, the drones were like one with the Dark Templar. I mean, this is actually a really big mistake by Aiur. He gave the drones the ability to be invisible because they were like mutating together. So, engagement. That's actually kind of nice there. He was able to get the Zerg player out of position, destroying Mass Spine Crawler. Like, what the hell? It's not bad enough that you've got Mass Roaches, but you're like, I need more Spine Crawlers now. And here comes the Roaches, and they're not in a good position at all. They're just all like in a single line. Some force fields going down, trapping a few. That's really, really good force fields. I'm about to have another jizz moment here, but I will hold back. And so the Protoss player with his force fields is being boned by Mass Roaches because they've got Burrow. Cry. Cry. Like, what? Who should have won this engagement? Roaches? Yes. They just Mass Roaches. And then turn sideways to win. If you guys play Magic, you get the reference. And I mean, that was a nice hallucination. It actually helped because the foolish Zerg player is like, I'll just kill that specifically. Look, the Protoss won, and not by any small margin either. He actually won that engagement. But then, I mean, like, Zerg's got another army. And if he hadn't been, if he wasn't an idiot and didn't blindly go Corruptors, and then he would have, whatever, Mr. Zerg player, you're dumb sometimes. There goes the Dark Templar, which is kind of like the last saving grace. There goes another couple Dark Templar. I mean, if they're lucky and the Zerg player is a dumbass, then they're actually going to do a lot of damage here. So, yay. He's like, focus fire at the units that aren't destroying my Roaches completely. Now he's microing his like army of 5 Roaches. Like, shit, I gotta micro my 5 Roaches as I build another army of them. Like, shoot, I'm dying. This hurts. We have a greater spire. I missed the hive being done. I know you guys hate me because that was the most important thing in the game. And I like how he's actually using the corruptors now because he has to. And so with great micro and army composition, Air was able to beat like 2 Zerg Roach forces. I'm so proud of you. Of course, it wasn't really close. It wasn't really a big winning battle, even though I should have probably checked the army tab. Whatever. I don't have to do that. And he's got 9 Dark Templar warping in. That's like instant kill. It's like Path to Exile on your base. That's so awesome. Oh, you're dead now. Oh my god. How fast will they take out this hive? I gotta see this. This is so cool. Okay, so it's been like 2 seconds and they're already killed it. That's so awesome. Like, Dark Templar, the new OP unit. Just late game, you make an army, 200 army of Dark Templar. Minus a little bit for some Blink Stalkers. They blink and they're like, kill the Overseer. And the Roaches are like, shit, we're all gonna die. And the Dark Templar are like, la la la, la la la, la 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 la. I'm not, you don't even want to know what hand gesture I did there. It was like beating my hands like they were drum mallets against the computer screen, but they weren't. There was no drum there. Okay, so with the lack of creep, the Greater Spire will probably die in a couple seconds because that's how quickly they die. Creep, very necessary for Zerg building. I mean, considering how long it takes for Zerg buildings to die without creep, I think Zerg should be able to build anywhere. Zerg started off the game with a, whatever this thing is called. If you guys see my hand gesture, you know I'm going to click on it. Spine Crawler. If you ever, I shouldn't tell you this. You won't. You'll probably look it up, and then you'll be mad at me and unsubscribe. We got Broodlords now. So he's moved from Mass Roach with some Corruptors to Mass Roach with some Broodlords. More shoe. Lamp oil. Rope. Bombs. You want it? It's yours, my friend. As long as you have enough roaches. Okay, so Air's finally making a tech switch. I remember watching this in the preloading and thinking, wow, nice timing there. He's macroing really well. I'm proud of him. And so he's getting a couple Stargates. His Dark Templar are kind of where his gas went. That's a lot of oversaturation there. Could use some Dark Templar in there to like clean it up. Dark Templar, no matter what's in your drain, it will clean you up. Okay, I gotta see this. It's like amazing. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. Holy crap. Dark Templar is the new Drano. And okay, this is not going to be able to fight this. I mean, if he used the drones as army units, he'd be just fine. They actually can take a pretty good chunk of HP with +2 armor. And they actually kill whatever these are, Immortals, really well. So, there's not enough roaches. The Zerg player has way too much gas and not enough bases. He actually really needs that base really bad. So, Air's damage he did during the last attack was really good. And I'm not going to fault the Roaches this time, because, I mean, this would have beat the Roaches completely. But the Broodlords are going to molest him. Broodlords with Corruptor support. What is Air going to do? He's got Void Rays on the way. I can tell he's a Void Ray. Dark Templar is what I was saying. He's got Dark Templar on the way to help out against the Broodlords, because they'll, like, jump up and stab him in the chest. And it'll be like, oh, Halo? Is that? And Halo... The Arbiter... Oh, it was Halo Wars, yeah. You guys are like, Halo Wars, what's that? Oh, Halo Wars is the dumb version of StarCraft, so be happy. And anyway, Halo Wars, you have the Arbiter character who could jump up on top of flying units, you know, like 100 feet in the air. Like, fly with my magic sword power. Just sit there and stab it in the face until it died. More Broodlords on the way. Not good. That's one actually really dangerous thing as Zerg. If you turn all your Corruptors into Broodlords and he comes in with a couple of Void Rays, it's like, lol ray, and as it actually is like burning your units, you can hear I watched that too much this week, and I guess whatever day it is today. I don't live by your schedules, foolish mortals. We have a plant here. Too powerful. I think this should actually be removed from the game. Hey, look at these freaking trees. What the hell? Protoss trees. We have no purpose. We just come out of the ground. Here's the shade we give. I guess this is Shakuras. You don't need shade. But what's the point of this? Oxygen? Protoss don't even breathe. They just take in sunlight. There's no sunlight on Sakuras. Whatever. In a completely unrelated note, I'm going to talk about Protoss life. So Zerg player's got a 200-200 army. He's now building up minerals for another 200-200 army, as so-called the 300 food push, and he's going to destroy this completely. It's going to be very sad. Except for there's one thing going for Mr. Air. I think this is hilarious. The entire game, other than the few queens he made, he has absolutely no anti-air. Like, I don't think switching to Void Race earlier would have saved him. It probably would have just killed him with Roach Hydra. But this is just so hilariously funny to me that the only anti-air units he had is Corruptors, and they're all Broodlords now. They're like, dude, stop shooting! And they're like focusing on the Overseer, so the Dark Templar that are dead don't die faster. Oh, there we go. That actually was really nice. And so because that thing's dead, he actually has a wall of force fields. Oh wait, Dark Templar. Force fields are overpowered. And he's destroying these Broodlords with these Void Rays. I'm like, yes. I'm masturbating. Like, this is so awesome. This is so good. And of course, even with this many Dark Templar destroying the shit out of the Roaches, they're like, whatever, we'll just walk past you and start destroying everything. Of course, Air's warping in some more units, even though he's completely out of minerals and gas. And the Zerg player has, you know, Zerg player is still ahead of food count. And it only takes like 33 seconds to make a Hydra Den. He just finished it. But instead of making Hydralisks, which would just win him the game, because Air hasn't gone for Colossus at all. If you haven't noticed, the theme of this game is no Colossus. I guess. I don't know why he hasn't gotten Colossus. We should always go Colossus. We're trained to do that. Day one of Protoss school. Okay, so what you do is you make Colossus. Is that it? Yeah, just Mass Colossus. Okay, so Mass Roach coming this way. Has no Overseer support. And not enough Corruptors. There they are. So the Overseers will see the Dark Templar probably bone them, because they don't have enough HP. The Void Rays are nicely charging up. There's 6 of them. And this is where it starts getting really dangerous. I mean, the Roach's armor is freaking crazy. I mean, look at that. 4 fully charged Void Rays are like, die, die. It took 3 seconds to kill one Roach. If they really need the plus weapons upgrades, that would really help out. It's a very small investment for so much power. I don't know what I was going to do. I think he's going to die now. There's so many Roaches. If you guys can't tell, I hate mass Roaches. I hate mass of any unit. It's stupid, but I can't believe that Terran and Zerg can actually get away with doing something like that. It drives me crazy. Now that's cool. Air's like, fuck you. Stay on my base, bitch. And there's a detection. Cool. Photon Cannon's like, let's hang out. We're awesome. So pulling back his Void Rays, I might have missed a little action over here. Didn't look like they really fought anything. So he's pulling back his Roaches, which take forever to die because these Void Rays don't have plus weapons yet, and they have +2 armor, which I don't know why he doesn't get +2 plus... Man, this third player's dumb. He's massing Roaches and like A-clicking, and he's still doing fine. Cry. Okay, so how many Void Rays does it take to get completely boned by a bunch of Corruptors? Void Rays OP. Now he really needs to focus fire. This would make a huge difference. And Corruptors actually do pretty well against Void Rays because they have 2 starting armor. And they of course can weaken the high costing Void Rays. Fortunately for Mr. Air, he's dying not as well, I guess. I don't know why, but Void Rays do pretty well against Corruptors. It's armored to armored, and of course they lose 2 damage here. I don't even know what their damage is. So I guess they do better to whatever these are called, Corruptors, than they do to light units like Mutalisk, but whatever. I don't have to make sense. And so the Void Rays due to reinforcements and I suppose better focus firing. That's probably what it is. Like if Corruptors had focus fired, and they've got like 10 more Corruptors on the way. Loses a Roach. Jesus Christ, they just won't die. Why won't they die? Hey, you killed all of us. Now here's another army of Roaches. I'm just gonna keep throwing them at you until you commit seppuku. And they're like, backup time. 2 force fields going down. It's just not enough. And unfortunately, these freaking probes are like suicidal. And there goes the Roach, and there goes the force fields, and then there goes the sentries. But what really is helping Air here is these Void Rays. And I mean, I don't know why stupid Zerg player didn't make Hydralisks, because even though he isn't making Colossus, he isn't making Hydralisks. These will die to Hydralisks on equal amounts of what he spent for these expensive Corruptors. If he made Hydralisks, he would have freaking won. And then he's got 3 Void Rays, and that's it. I mean, fully charged, and this one's dead now. So he's got 2 Void Rays floating around. Jeez, that's not lucky at all. Why no match Roach beat Void Ray? It don't make sense. Stupid Void Ray, stupid. That's my stupid, my real name voice, as I used to work with one of my neighbors and coworkers, and I always would say, Stupid my name. You're stupid. You stop talking and get to work. Stupid my name. I'm just not saying my name, even though if you look at some of my casts, you can find my name. And if you have me on Facebook, you know my name. I'm kind of defensive about it, so stupid my name. Oh, it's done. Zerg player rage quits after massed roaches with some corruptors and brood wards. What? Why didn't you use this? What is wrong with you? Put the lotion in the basket. Even at the end of the game, he had a higher army count. I'm just shaking my head. My arms feel very funny. I don't even want to. I don't know. I don't know. Am I allowed to be angry at that? I mean, after great micro by the Protoss player, Air, who sent me the replay, I'll tell you now, spoiling it. After great micro on force fields and unit control and army composition and positioning, he still manages to barely win versus Mass Roach. What? Anyway, when Air, if you don't know, is Fruit Crunch. After Fruit Crunch sent me this replay, he's like, I felt really good about what I did. He did do a lot of really good harassment. I couldn't focus on all of it at once, I'm sorry. But he did do really well with his harassment. You guys could saw how he killed the Hive, which probably really, that's probably why he didn't get the upgrades, because he couldn't. La 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 la. What was I saying? Yeah, so he did really well with his harassment. He macroed really well, as you can see. I mean, at the end there, when you're like, just keep pushing and hopefully I win because he's beating me with mass roaches. He macroed really well. Did well, you know, taking bases, saturating them, getting the correct units to deal with it, warping in well. Upgrades too, for sure. Finally getting +3 armor. I mean, he did a great job. He did a great job there. I couldn't say this is Masters quality, but it's definitely up there. He could be a Masters player if he put in a little more time and effort, which I'm going to be in Grandmasters in probably a few more minutes. That's my expectation. So one game, going to lose and then get into Grandmasters. That's it for me. I'll stop rambling on. Thanks for watching, guys, and I appreciate your watching. It's so nice to have you watch me talk about stuff.